We're finally back for another trading day today. The series finally continues. It's been a bit of a shit PA day. Nothing really happened except before the open at 9:30. But I decided to keep my hands away from that for now until I become a bit more confident in my setups later on in my career. And just stick to the silver bullet for now. After open, price action was really bad. There was no clear manipulation or change of state of delivery anywhere, so no real entries anywhere. Didn't take anything. I was playing around with a new strategy that I was trying to develop now that I have access to TradingView and its indicators, using the volume profiles actually and the delta. So I'm gonna show you a bit of my thoughts there. It went actually pretty well. I didn't actually take anything there since I was only developing and seeing what the actual strategy is. If I would have taken any trades with that strategy today, it would have been 3 wins and 1 break even actually. So maybe it's worth pursuing. It's definitely not something that I would just implement right off the bat because, I mean, it's 1 day, it's 3 trades, so you would have to backtest it over several months, maybe even more. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes over these next few weeks. Maybe I can take some small trades on the other account where I don't really care about losing it. But for now, I'm gonna stick to my ICT trading, of course, and we'll see how far that brings me. Maybe volume is this little thing that is missing for me and will propel me to greater heights. Maybe that's the same for you, but for now, let's get into the charts. So this is the opening right here. We had news at 10, didn't really do anything, so it's not even worth pointing out. We have the NWAC here. It's pretty large, as you can see right here. Today was one of those 30% days where market does not retrace back into the new week opening gap in the first 30 minutes. Instead, we just continued higher. You can see a little bit of my new ideas here. These are the trades that I was talking about. But anyways, the only replay that you would have maybe considered was this inversion here. And then right off the opening, you would take this buy here and look for maybe this high here to be taken. Like last week's high, right? But other than that, there's nothing really here. I mean, there were a few scalps maybe here and there. For example, you could have entered on this fair value gap right here and taken it to this high. But the risk to reward is really not good here. It's maybe like a 1.3 R, maybe even less, honestly. Then once it took these lows here, maybe you could have looked for an entry here. Put the stop loss down here. It would have been a nicer R here, but still not really what I wanted to see. And PA was really bad at this point already. For anyone who's not familiar with volume profiles, this is what a volume profile is. And basically what it shows you is just where on the chart has been the most volume, right? So this yellow line here, for example, shows the point of control, which is where the most amount of volume throughout this day has been traded on. So as you can see, this is where the most volume has been. And then we have some smaller volume pools right here and some volume pools right here. And price usually likes to return to these bigger volume pools. That is the theory, right? And then likes to absorb spots where there is little volume and do things such as here, where it just quickly pushed through it and formed a new little volume pool right here. And then what you would usually do is you would go on higher time frames, say the 1 hour, you would go through this chart here and you would mark out these bigger pools of volume, right? And then you would later on look if price would go back to these volumes and then look for a small time frame entry. That would be like one way you would trade it. Me personally, I just put it on the chart for one additional confirmation in case price reacts off of the point of control, in addition to my normal confirmations like changes to delivery, fair value gap, and so on. And this new strategy that I was looking on, this also involved this volume profile a little bit, but mostly it is part of this graph you see on the bottom here, which is the cumulative volume delta, which basically signals the difference in buying and selling pressure on this candle right here, which is another different topic. I'm not going to go right into detail about everything. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube if you want to learn a little bit about volume profile. I think it's certainly interesting. It could maybe help a little bit, although ICT despises it deeply. I think it is just another way to, you know, maybe get a slightly better edge. And if you backtest it, I'm sure you can have success with it. But let's get into the idea behind these trades here. So what you would be looking for is price to make a higher high or a lower high, whereas the cumulative volume delta would not make a higher high. So this would have been one instance right here. This is the candle where a higher high has been formed. And you would just enter on a sell on the next candle, and you would have a 10-point stop loss and about a 20-point take profit, or you would just look for a swing point, and this would have been a clean trade, no drawdown at all. Didn't even break the high of the previous candle, which is optimal. And we have this exact same setup again. This one's even a little bit better, where price breaks this high here, but the cumulative volume delta does not. Makes equal highs here. So you would sell here again, another 3R. If you would target this low here, you could technically also just target 20 points. That's what I would advise at first. Even then, there would be a 2R, so also not that bad. As you can see, this is a very different system from what I usually trade. It's very short term and a bit more aggressive. You take a lot more trades during the day, but I'll see if maybe this is something that I want to pursue. But yeah, difficult day all in all. Let me know how you guys did with, if you took anything. I hope you didn't. But if you did, let me know how it went. And I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Ciao.